Welcome to Straight Outta Savannah. I am super excited. My guest, Reverend Avril, fifth in grace, is here, and she is going to share a little bit about who she is, what she does, and how she can help you. So take it away.
Oh, Tammy, thank you so much for inviting me to come on your show with you. We had a little pre-chat, by the way. So for anybody who's going to be a guest, you get a little pre-chat. So we just had so much fun.
Yes.
And I've just loved getting to know you, and I'm so excited for our conversation. This is so fun.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's get started at the beginning. So tell them, how did you become interested in metaphysics? Because I have to share, she is a metaphysical minister. So tell us, how did you get there? Like, what was the journey like for you?
So I've always been that weird kid who could hear the ghosts and smell the ghosts and was into all the witchy stuff. Like even as a child, Halloween was my absolute favorite time of year. And looking back now, I'm like, oh, because I could feel the veil thinning,
Yes.
you know. And it was just I loved like just all of the rituals of Halloween, not just the trick or treating. Like I still do that, but the
That's fun.
rituals and the spiritual elements of it. And I'm Scottish, so there's a lot of Celtic background to Halloween and the ways that it is honored and celebrated. It's very different in North America than it is over in the UK. But I just kind of grew up really interested in all of that, the ghosts and always, wanting to be a ghost hunter. Stuff like
That's
that.
so cool.
Yeah. And so it just sort of was just a part of my life. Like I could feel people's energy. I didn't really understand it when I was young. It's like
Yeah.
now looking back, I'm like, oh, I was like picking up on everything, all the vibes. And so I went into funeral service. So that is actually my education and everything is in funeral service. And so I did that for quite a while. And then I left the industry. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. And I left the industry. And then I had an opportunity to get ordained and become a wedding officiant and a funeral celebrant. So that seemed like a natural evolution for me
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
into the next phase of my life. And it was a Christian church that I was ordained in first. And things just kind of like it just sort of went sideways. There were some pretty extreme views on some things over the last few years. And it was in, I think it was the end of 2021 that I made the decision to leave. And I had connected with a minister who's a metaphysical minister, and she actually does the trainings and the ordination for the Canadian Metaphysical Church.
Oh, nice.
So I connected with her and I took her course, which was based on A Course in Miracles, which was like super interesting.
Yeah.
And if anybody feels like A Course in Miracles is like overwhelming, because it's a lot, it's a daily thing. Um, there's a great book called A Course in Miracles Made Easy. So it's a little thin paperback. It kind of gives you the gist of what it's all about.
Yeah.
And so I joined the Metaphysical Church, got ordained there, gave up my license with the other church, and now I'm with the Metaphysical Church. A much better fit. This is so more me. Like nobody was concerned that I talk to the ghosties. Nobody was concerned that I read tarot, like all of it. And a lot of the ministers that I know across the country in the Metaphysical Church, like we don't have physical buildings that are our churches. We do online, but many of them have yoga studios, metaphysical shops, things like that. So they get to
Yeah.
bring their ministry into the world that way. So it just
Love
became a
it.
natural fit for me. And then I'm so happy. I'll never leave this church. Like never. It's awesome. And we just have so much freedom to just do our thing as long as it falls under the umbrella of metaphysics. So I do all kinds of things, healing work and readings and things like that. And of
Love it.
course, weddings and funerals. Obviously, it's a little different when you're in the wedding and funeral world than when you're sitting on
Yes.
YouTube reading tarot. But certainly, it's just a shift in personality. I've got 25 of them, trot out whatever one I need that day.
I love it.
The committee has a meeting and they decide who's in charge today. And off I went. So, yeah, I managed to overlap it, which is challenging because I didn't tell the first church that I was leaving. I did everything and they got a letter saying that I had left and moved my license because it just got really, really ugly and it was
Yeah.
no longer a safe place to say this isn't working out.
Yeah.
So a
Yes.
lot of people left after me. I kind of threw the lifeline out. And let people know that where they could go if they wanted to. And so many people followed me. I didn't mean to like, pull everybody away, but there were people unhappy and people were like coming to me saying like how do I get out of this, because it just became quite bonkers there for a while. And I don't think it's improved. I still hear from people in that church and they're like it's so bad and I'm like
So that
yeah,
was that was a part of your job though, was
yeah,
to set those people free.
yeah,
Because a lot of times I think that people don't realize they don't realize that they can just go.
yes.
Nobody's really holding you, but you
Yeah,
can just go. But I find that a lot of people, especially those that grew up in those things and or they had a bunch of family like I had. My grandmother was a pastor and all my family went to her church on that side. So, it's like, people think that they have to stay there, or, because we've been conditioned that, this is what we have to do, on Sunday, we get up and go to church. And, in my church, we went to church almost every day, some weeks, but Sundays and Wednesdays and, whatever the days that you have to go and meet and gather and all this stuff. And we've been conditioned this way. And and a lot of people, they're not even like here, there.
yeah,
They've left the building really, but
yes.
they still go, every Sunday because, this is what they've been conditioned to do. And they feel like, they need permission to leave. So to me, it's like you gave them their permission slip. You said, here, it's time to
You're
go.
reading my mind. I'm thinking permission slip. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes,
to anybody
yes,
watching right now, if you feel like you are stagnant in a place or an organization or a community or something, here's your permission slip from me and
yes,
Tammy.
yes.
You can go. You can find somewhere else where you will thrive. We don't want to just survive, we want to thrive. So get yourself into a place where you will come to life again. And this is your permission slip. I'm handing it to you right now. There you go.
Absolutely. So take it and run with
Yes.
it.
Yes. And I did that a couple years ago. I was on Instagram. We were talking about this earlier, and I hated it. I was just like, I feel like I'm just feeding the machine every single day. And a coach actually said to me, then don't. And I was like, I should know that, and she said, here's your permission slip. Stop it. And I
But
was like,
sometimes you
you're
need
right.
that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
we need somebody to say these things to us, even though we know, because
Yeah.
I can tell that you're so much like me, where you probably have taken lots of classes and courses and challenges and you name it and whatever, and you just don't feel like you can just go, and it's like nah, nah.
Yeah. I'm my worst client. Trust me. That's why I need other people.
Exactly. You're like no, and it's funny because you might have just told somebody else that.
Yep.
But you're sitting here in your stuff. It's like, okay, I had a friend tell me one day, she said, because we were talking and I was, because I've been going through, I've been healing, let me say it like this, I've been healing from long COVID for probably almost 3 years.
Mm.
Um, but when I was like really in the middle, in the thrust of it, where I was struggling so hard, but I am such a person that, doesn't like to ask for help. And I've been conditioned, of course, I'm a Gen X woman, from America in the South. We've been conditioned not to, ask for help, to be superwoman and, be that woman, and so I was there and my girlfriend, she sent me this message. She lives in New Mexico, and she said, you got to let somebody help you. And for me, that was the permission slip that I needed, because I was struggling. I could not figure it out. I was doing all the things I knew, doing all the things I learned and, doing my Reiki and, which I don't really say I do that anymore because I really just work with energy. I said, but I did all the things, I sat and meditated, I prayed, I talked to God, all these things. and nothing really was helping. And so I actually reached out to this girl and got some Reiki done. And I think she's in Canada.
Hmm.
So she had 3 sessions and it was like really super cheap. So I was like, huh. So I tried it and she was amazing. It
Nice.
was it was the thing that I needed to help me at that time. But I was too afraid to receive,
Mm.
right?
Hmm. I totally get that. As a Gen X woman myself, it's like, well, we didn't have parents.
No, we raised
They
ourselves.
didn't know where we were or what we were doing.
We
We
raised
had a
ourselves.
garden hose and some change in our pockets.
That's right.
So
We raised
that
ourselves.
kind
If
of
you
like
were
we had
lucky,
to fend
if you
for
were lucky,
ourselves.
you had change.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was just the garden hose.
Yeah, and maybe some other
Yeah.
mom was handing out freezies that day, you
Right.
know? But
You're like, oh, but
yeah, but it's like we didn't have that
no,
growing up. Like,
you have it.
you know what I mean? To have people we could say, "Hey, I need to go home and ask my mom for help." No, your mom would be like, "Why are you here? Are you bleeding? Get lost." You know what
Look,
I
do you
mean?
want to come inside? Because ours would say, we're not air conditioning the outside. So do you want to come inside? Then you can come inside and you're not going to go back out.
Yeah.
And so you're like, no, no,
Yes.
no, we want to go outside. We want to go outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a really good point about women our age who we struggle to ask for help because we didn't have those resources naturally. Like my son is a teenager and he'll ask me for anything he wants.
Yeah.
And I always know when he's going to ask me for something because he starts with, mummy. And then he asks this, and I'm like, what's it going to cost me? You know what I mean? But he's with us all the time. Like he's 17 years old. He still hangs out with us all the time. I actually was in the middle of a conversation earlier today and I had to stop because he came in and he needed a cuddle. And so I'm like, yeah, like I'll take it and I'll give it. So, and it's just so different. Like I raised my son, and I'm sure you raised your children in a
Oh, yes.
completely different. That pendulum swung so far in the other direction because I parented the way I needed and didn't get. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like some of the things because I look and I'm like, oh man, because I was talking to a boomer, right, one day. Matter of fact, where I live is mostly a retirement community. So we have a community club and it has a hot tub and an indoor pool and fitness center and everything. And so go in there and a lot of times you go in there with the old people. And they were talking and they were saying stuff. And I just looked at him and I said, yeah, I said, I'm Gen X. I said, they put a key around our neck at like 7 years old. We're like, come in
Yep.
the house, lock the door, don't answer the phone, all these
I know.
things.
And they're like, why is it that women in their 50s won't answer the phone? Because we were told not to.
Answer the
The
phone.
answer the door? Are you kidding me? Only a psychopath would be at my door. Because that's how, yeah, we were told you'll get murdered if you answer the door. So we don't answer the door. Just don't try. Text me first.
And what are you calling me for? Did you not text me first to see if I was
Yes.
available? No, I'm in the
Yeah.
middle of doing something. I'm not talking. I don't feel like it.
I had somebody call me and then hang up and then like immediately text me and say, I know you just saw me calling you. I was like, yep, I did. Well done. You hung up before I had to go to voicemail. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Don't leave a voicemail.
Because I don't want to listen to that either.
Yeah. And I have clients who are like, well, why will you not give me your phone number? And I'm like, because then you'll call me and you're going to be disappointed because I'm not answering. Just email me. Yeah.
Look, you calling me?
Yeah.
Like, is somebody dying? Or, I had to tell my family too. I said, because I live on one side of the country, my family lives on the whole other side. And so I had to tell them, I said, listen now, don't be calling me at midnight if somebody died. Because you know what? They're still going to be dead in the morning. And there's not anything I can do one way or the
Yeah.
other.
And I'm not answering.
I'm not
The
Jesus. I
ringer's
did not
off.
raise him. I can't do it. I said, don't do it. And I had to teach my kids that, as my kids they're older now. And I had to teach them that. I was like, listen, don't, if somebody died, I know, you might be upset or whatever, but wait until a reasonable hour to call them. I said, and don't text that to somebody. Text
Yeah.
them, call me when you can, or call me when you get a chance, or when you get this message or whatever, but don't text that. Because I had somebody text me that. I was like, Why would you do that? These are
Oh,
not things that you
yeah.
do not text that.
No.
I'm
But
like,
then I guess they're
no.
like, but you're not going to answer the phone, so
No, you text and say, call me when you get a chance. And that way
yes.
you call and you call in on your time when you're ready. It's like,
Yeah.
because some days, I don't know about you, but I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't feel like that today. Like after today, because I do usually do two interviews today. Tomorrow, I don't want to talk. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm like that too. I've been online all day talking to people and I want silence tomorrow. I will
Oh, and
be
the Zoom calls. My God, like I was in one day I had two different Zoom call like course things to do on the same day.
mm.
One was like 2 hours, the other one was 4 hours.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh my God. When I got off that last one, it was and it was just such a good class. That's why I would have like just said, catch the replay. But it was such a good class. But when I got off, I was exhausted like I worked a job.
Yeah.
I was like, how do people do this? No.
It's extroverts do that and they
Yeah.
love it and they thrive on it. And some of us need a break from everybody every once in a while. Yeah.
Well, personally, I call myself an introvert who has taught herself to extrovert when necessary.
Have you done the Myers-Briggs thing?
Um, a long time ago, I don't remember. I didn't keep up with it.
So I am an I slash ENFJ. So I am the ultimate extroverted introvert. So like give me a microphone and a captive audience and I just spring to life. And then I go home and I'm like, no one talk to me.
Yeah.
Like
Look,
silence.
leave me alone. Get away.
Yeah.
Go.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's good to know like your capacity for things. Like it's
Yes.
good to know when you're done and
Yes.
let yourself be done. Permission slip, let yourself be done and go rest and recharge
Yes.
and drink the mugs of tea and read the book and sit in silence or some soft music. Like just do that. If that's what it takes, then do that and schedule that in. Like
Yes.
I will do that if I have a
So
busy day of
important.
weddings or funerals or things like that. I will schedule in at the end of the day. Like I'm in bed at 7 p.m. just with my book and my music and just chillaxing, some candles, my salt lamp, everything,
Yes.
and just relaxing because it's
Yes.
it's like it takes so much to
Yes.
maintain this level of outgoing that yeah, it's you need a break every once in a while. Yeah.
Especially, if like if I know that I'm a people, like they had a festival here this weekend. It's a big motorcycle thing. I didn't realize it was as big as it was, but I think they said it was like 100,000 people in town. And in our little town,
Hmm.
it has like 6,000 people. Like it's a small town. Like there are no traffic lights here. It's just around.
Really? Oh, roundabouts.
And
Okay, yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
just one. Like
Oh,
one in
just
the whole
one.
town. Yeah,
I
it's
love a
one
good
roundabout.
roundabout.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's usually peaceful, but it was a lot of people. And it was fun though. I went out there and they had, vendors and they played music, they had bands. I think I saw three different bands and it was really nice, you know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, I did this. And then at night they had a place we went to that they had these people playing in the band and it's like a restaurant that they kind of turned into a little club at night, type of thing looks like.
Yeah.
And so they had the band playing and all that stuff, and that was nice. We were able to dance and all that. Well, after that, I was done. Like Sunday, that was Saturday. Sunday, I was like, no, I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything, not going anywhere, just chilling, relaxing, recovering.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to, in this conversation, to distinguish like what is an introvert?
Yes.
Really,
Oh,
because people are
good.
like, oh, I'm an introvert, so I stay home. And I'm like, no, you have social anxiety.
Yes.
Like learn the difference and then actually treat the differences. An
Yes.
introvert is somebody who gets their energy from being alone.
Yes.
And an extrovert gets their energy from being with other people, which is why
Yes.
your introverts you see for 3 days and then not for five.
Right.
Because we're at
It's,
home
I used to love,
recharging.
I used to do vending, right? Go to all these different markets and stuff.
Yeah.
Woo! It take me like 2 days to recover from that. Because it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, after I talk to people all day and And then and don't let me do some little sessions because I used to, you offer little mini sessions at these things, and after you finish dealing with that, and then sometimes, I'm laughing because I'm like, some people I would see them coming and I'm like, let me go over here. I've already seen them the last market and and they're gonna come over here and they just want to whine and I just can't do it,
Yeah.
whatever. Or they're talking to you about their stuff and you're telling them, I can help you, I can show you this, but they don't want to do that.
No. They just want to trauma dump, but
Hmm.
never actually heal by
Yes.
booking a session and starting that process. And I know exactly the kind of person you're talking about. And have you seen Yellowstone? And
Yes.
there's that scene where Rip Wheeler walks out of the barn and his wife is standing there and he's like, I don't have the energy for you today.
Yeah.
It's like that is what goes through my mind when
Yes.
I see those people coming because I'm just like, oh, I need an exit strategy from this conversation. Because yeah, people will go on and on and on. And I'm just like, book a session. Like, I finally had to say that to
Be my
somebody the
reason
other
and not
day who was
even
dumping all their
reasonable.
stuff. And I was like, I'm running a business.
I try to keep them like nice and reasonable so people can freaking afford them,
Yeah,
but I'm not going to be giving you all this stuff for free all the time.
yeah,
And then I tell them this, I said, you can go my YouTube channel. I got over 1,000 videos. I have free freaking master classes on there. I said, so you can go on there and you can get all the free that you want. I said, but if you're going to be taking my time, you got to pay something. There needs to be an energy exchange because then I feel depleted.
yeah. It's
I
that the
feel like,
high touch situations people need to pay for. There's a reason why you and I have all these videos. Go if you need to be in my energy, go do that. But if you need to actually get my personal one-on-one time, like stop sending me messages on Facebook with your whole trauma dump. Like yeah, I had somebody actually recently do that. And I took the conversation and put it into a Word document and it was 15 pages of trauma dump that they sent me with all
on
their
Facebook Messenger?
yeah.
I didn't even know you could send that much stuff on Facebook
Yeah,
Messenger.
she just went on and on and on and on and on. And it's like,
So
yeah,
hold
if
on.
if you're if you see somebody looking at their watch and looking around and whatever, stop talking and book an appointment. Book a session.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's all they got to do. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about where you want to go. Like what is your grand plan for where you want to take Fifth and Grace?
I wish I knew.
I
Well,
love
that's
it.
a silly question, Tammy.
I love it. And the thing is that is the same thing that we do with people. We say, where do you want to go? What is
Yeah.
your grand plan? The first thing I do when I work with somebody is I ask them, I said, I need you to write on a piece of paper, what do I want? And sit with it
Yeah.
and see what shows up for you. I said,
And you know
because
what?
many
A lot
times
of
we
people
don't
don't
know.
know.
No, especially us, Gen X.
Yeah.
We don't know because most of us have been taking care of, I don't know, everybody else and, all these
Yeah.
things, and been, who we've been. I feel like I've been probably 5 or 10, 12 people.
Yes.
I've had
And
so many different timelines.
pondering that question, like, what do I want? I mean, I know what the good answer is to that question, but when I have to really get deep, I'm
Yes.
like, I don't know.
Don't
I
know.
don't know. And I'm just gonna let it take me wherever it goes. I'm just gonna have faith that I will end up exactly where I'm supposed to be, and the people who are supposed to help me get there or be part of my journey they're gonna show up exactly when they're supposed to. Because you know how it works. You say, "Oh, I wish I knew XYZ," and the next thing somebody's talking about it. It's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, more please. Thank you, universe. Thank you, guides. Thank you, spirit. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And
amazing.
and you get steered like every wrong turn. Every time I've walked into the wrong building or the wrong restaurant or oh shoot, it has been magic that has unfolded from that moment on. And I really, really, truly believe that thing where they say like if you get in your car and you start driving down the street and you realize you forgot something and you go back for it, just hang out there for a bit because that's your angels making sure you are not out in the world.
Yes.
That was contrived for you to make
Yes.
sure you stayed home for a
Yes.
certain period of time. And I've had that happen where I was supposed to be in a restaurant one night and the plans got all changed and I was really pissed off because I really wanted to go to that restaurant. And when I got home that night and watched the news, this is way back in the 90s when we did that.
I was gonna say when we could watch the news when the news was news.
Yeah, when you could safely watch the news and the restaurant that we were supposed to go to and didn't go to blew up. Yeah.
So that was stopping you.
Yes.
See, and this is what I always use for an example, people with 911. There were people that didn't go to work that day. They called in or they,
Yeah.
didn't feel good. Some people are like, I didn't feel right about going, so I just took the day off. And good thing they did because all of their people died. You know what I mean? And same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if you just listen, and I have been so intentional about listening to my intuition and trusting it. And I think that, especially for us, Gen X, it's like I believe that is a part of our journey is trusting because so much of conditioning for us, we were conditioned, they did a job on us. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
so we
yeah.
have so much, conditioning. Oh, there's the babies.
Are your baby deers back?
Yeah. So it's like so much, and we just have to get out of that, where we decide to give ourselves permission.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to do this. Like growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. That was what I wanted to do. One of the things, but that was something I thought about when I got ready to graduate from high school. I thought I want to be a journalist, and honestly, I want to be a sports journalist because I love sports.
Wow.
And so, but my parents were like, you need to do something where, you will make some money because, and that kind of thing, you could be a starving artist, because I wanted to write books and, I had all these things. And they're like, you need to get something where, you can make money, you can have a job and this and that because, you can get those degrees and then you end up at McDonald's being a manager or some crazy crap, if you don't get on and get the leg and stuff like that. And I listened to it and so I didn't.
Mm,
But here I am, 40 years later. I published 3 books.
nice.
I'm working on 2 more, you know what I mean? But it's because I gave myself that permission.
Yeah.
It's
You just
like,
got to do it. You just got to do it. Whatever's calling you, at the very least, research it. At the very
I'm
least,
telling
Google
you,
it.
put it in Chat GPT and ask,
Yes.
ask the questions.
I'm a big fan of ChatGPT.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. When I'm literally like, I don't know what to do anymore. And then I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, Chatty will know.
Yep. I'm like, can you give me, can you show me, can you tell me about this, for real? Because, we need that.
Yeah.
I tell people, I'm like, because somebody was talking about it, I was like, don't hate on AI. I was like, it is an amazing tool. I said, you get more accurate shit from ChatGPT than you do Google.
Yes. And I love that when you're actually truly researching,
Yes.
ChatGPT will give you the source links as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
you're like, here you go. Here's citing my sources
Yeah. Here we
and
go.
everything like that. Yeah. And something that I do with ChatGPT, which I thought everybody did it, but apparently it's blowing everybody's minds, is I will take when I put a video on YouTube and then I'll let it simmer till it creates a transcript for me. And then I take the transcript and I pop it into GPT and I'll say, write the YouTube video description for me, fill it with SEO and relevant keywords, blah, 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 blah. And it will write it for me based on the transcript.
You just
So
put me
I don't
on
have to sit
game,
there and
girl.
try to figure out what to put in the description.
You just don't put me on game, girl. I appreciate that.
There you go. You're
Because
welcome. It's all
I'm
yours.
telling you, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, wow, because I've been doing the same. Like any little thing, I'm like, okay. Even like I did an experiment with my post. So I did the post, wrote the post like I did. Of course, 2, 3, 5, no people. Whatever. I took
Yeah.
the same post, put it in Chat GPT and told it to polish it and clean it up. Polish it and clean it up, put it back on there. Everybody's looking at it. People
Yeah.
are commenting and blasey blasey. And I'm like, wow, because it's the same message.
Yeah.
And so
But
I'm
just
like,
do the same thing with your YouTube videos And then it'll do the work for you because it's like, yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what keywords people
Oh,
are looking for. I don't know. That's not my jam.
no.
So, yeah. And so
We
you,
have
when
something
it,
that it is.
because we're expected to be like the entire corporation
Yes.
of, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm getting too pulled too far away from my zone of genius
Right.
to by if I start writing YouTube descriptions,
I
right?
agree.
So,
I'm
yeah.
completely in agreement with all of that. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't want to do that. And then the other thing for me is like I have just decided that, certain things I just don't want to do.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it, and I'm not going to do it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm almost 60 years old. I want to do what I want to do.
Hmm.
I was like, I don't want to do that. Because somebody
Yeah.
was like, well, do you want to do so and so? You can do so and so. I said, no, but I don't want to do it. I don't have any
Yeah.
desire to do it. I don't want to do it.
And you can use ChatGPT. We're all over the map here today, but you can use ChatGPT to say, study the Rolls-Royce brand and write for me a marketing program strategy, blah, 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 based on that I can apply in my business.
Nice.
Right. And so now, like, you know what I mean? You can have it look at other businesses and what their strategy is, and then create a strategy for, like, it is unbelievable what
The
people are
things you can
doing.
do.
And
Yes.
when you get the bots, like, I've got a whole bunch of little extra bots on mine that will do everything. Like, I've got a numerology one, I have a messaging one, I have one that will tell me my clients' pain points
Nice.
that I can address based on our conversations. And it's like, wow, this
It's like a
is,
game changer because
it really is.
it takes the
And the
pressure
tools
off
are
of
there
us.
and people should use them because it makes life so much easier. Don't lose your ability to read and write and all of that, but use the tools to do the things that, like, if you had a team, you would be like, okay, you go do all of this. Use the tools for that. And
Yes.
then you stay in your own zone of genius where
Yes.
you're like the gold nuggets. That's what is the money maker. Everything else is just sort of what sells it. So let the sales department be your chat GPT.
That's what's up. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. We weren't planning to go there, but that's where
Nope.
it needs to go. So I think
It's like
that's what
marketing
people need.
101 now.
Yes. I'm like, we needed that because, spiritual entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and you can ask ChatGPT spiritual questions. You
Oh
can
yeah.
you can get deep with GPT like
That gave me
just
a whole reading.
yeah.
I just said, I'm feeling like this and blah 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 blah. And it went deep too. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I can see why people are having problems with their relationships with their ChatGPT because if you let it, it will be a whole personality for you to fall in love with, you know?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear that kind of stuff. I know it's happening.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a movie about it a number of years ago. Guy,
Yes.
was it Joaquin Phoenix or something is his name? River Phoenix is, and he fell in love with the AI on his
Yes,
computer.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
But
and we were like, Psh, that'll never happen.
and now we're probably gonna see it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have clients and we'll have to help them heal from these relationships now. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. So we better be prepared. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we better.
Yeah.
All right, I
Yeah.
have one last question. We're gonna
For
land this
sure.
plane. I have one last question that I ask all of my guests because I just want to know. So, if there was anything in the world that you could change, what would that be and why?
Oh. Ooh. Was not prepared for this one. Um, it's a double-edged sword kind of thing for me. I don't have a relationship with my parents. They're, my mother is a covert narcissist. My father, I don't even know not it's not a good situation.
I
So
get
on
it.
one hand, there's a silver lining, but on the other hand, I'm like, I don't have parents. Do you know what I mean? I don't have that. I never had that love or relationship. So it's sort of a double-edged things where I think if I wish I could have had good parents and not the way they tell me they're good parents. But like loving, caring, truly loving, caring parents that I'm not in competition with, I'm not afraid of, I'm not being assaulted by, you know what I mean? All of
Yes,
that.
I
I
do.
wish I could have grown up differently, but then at the same time, if I did, maybe I wouldn't be who I am now. Maybe I wouldn't be able to see through things so quickly now and help people now who have experienced the same thing. And so, yeah, that's an interesting question. That's a real double-edged thing for me. Yeah.
I rarely get the same answer. I think I've gotten the same answer maybe 3 times now in over 200 interviews.
Wow.
So it's like interesting, to hear what people's take on that. Some people go way deep into like world stuff, like if we could change, hunger and things like that, and greed, and I've had people that wanted to um have everybody get their human design when they're born. Like have a welcome to Earth book, so that they could
Yeah.
understand, their human design, and the parents could understand the kids, and human design and all this kind of stuff. So it's been interesting answers that I've had, and that is also really
Interesting.
interesting.
What's
Yeah.
your human design?
Reflector.
Oh, I'm a generator. We
Oh
need
yeah,
each other.
okay.
We need each other. You are the person who's like, hold on a minute.
Wait a
Let's think
minute.
this through.
Sit for a
Why don't we
second.
sit with it for a minute? And I'm like, let's go.
I have a friend, that's what she does. She calls me, she goes, I need your reflector wisdom.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Whereas they call me when they need to get shit done. So,
exactly. Like,
yeah.
what do you need to do? Okay, let's do this and this and this. I know I have a friend. She's like, I said, girl, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. We got to slow this train down.
Yeah.
I was like, because
Yeah.
you're all
And I'm
here.
like,
You can't
why?
do that.
Why? What's wrong? Why are we slowing down? Yeah. Yeah. And generators are little energizer bunnies. We just go, go,
Yeah.
go. As long
Yeah.
as we're lit up by it, we got
Yes.
all the energy in the world for it. If it's boring, I'm like, no, no. But if it's something I'm excited about and lit up about, yeah,
You do.
day and night, nonstop.
See, and I can feel myself when I get in that energy. You know what I mean? Like when I am in the energy of a generator. Now, my husband is actually a manifester.
Mm,
It's amazing because before I even did his chart, I knew that he was, because that
nice.
he just manifests. I'm like, how does that work? But he just does. You know,
Yeah.
and we need something. I don't know, for some reason, somehow it just shows up. I'm like, wow, I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, that's so cool. My son is a manifester and is I think I'm really excited to see what his life looks like. Because
Yeah,
as a teenager, it's like,
but you can't.
he doesn't even have a part of him that's like he won't succeed. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't go into it like if we win. He's like, well, when we win. So he just go and they keep he's in a band, a competitive band, and they keep winning. Because and all of them are like the kids are like, what do you mean we're not going to win? No, we're here to win. Like, why would we come otherwise? And all the adults are like, well, you know. And I'm like,
Yes,
no, win.
and they're
Get out
like,
there
no,
and win.
we
Yeah.
got this. I'm the same.
Yes.
We were the same. I was in a competitive band when I grew up, and we were the same. When we went to competitions, we didn't play. We knew that we were there to win. And
Yeah.
I think one time we came in second, and we lost our minds. Girl, when I tell you, we were out there crying and screaming and acting real nutty. But then we also knew that when we went back to our school, that we were going to run. You know what I mean? We had punishment. We were going to run. We're going to have to run, and we were going to have to practice extra hour, and all kinds of stuff. But we went into it that way. We knew people were scared when they saw us coming. That's how
Yes.
big that band was, and we knew we were like, we're gonna win. But we practiced so much, and we practiced out in the hot sun in the summertime in Georgia.
Yeah.
Girl,
Hmm.
I
But that's how you
remember.
win. That's
Right,
how you win.
it
You
is.
win by practice, 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 and only walking in a winner,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
and I'll tell you what, handling losing is a lot easier than handling winning if you're not used to winning.
yes, that's true.
People who've never won and they win usually quit.
Yeah,
People who usually
it's too
win and
much
then they
for them.
lose, they don't quit. They come back with a
Because it's too
vengeance.
much
And
for them. They're like,
yeah,
oh, which is it. If you think about it, it really does not make any sense. But it comes from all that very deep trauma and stuff,
yeah,
that we dealt with. And so, yeah. All right, we're gonna
yeah.
we're gonna land this plane. This is
Yes.
such an amazing, 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 amazing time. I have enjoyed, this interaction, as Abraham Hicks says, immensely.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so very much. I have so enjoyed this. Just to be able to chat with somebody on the same wavelength and
Yes.
yeah, like and like be like, what's your human design? And you told me immediately. Nobody ever answers that question.
Because people look at you crazy at first. They're like, well, I don't know. I guess I'm designed like a girl. You know what I mean? You're like, somebody said that to me, and I went, what? Oh, okay.
Love it. I love it. That's awesome.
So share with the people, where is the best place for them to connect with you?
I have a website which is fifthandgrace.com. So fifth-and-grace.com. And of course, Fifth and Grace Tarot and Spiritual Straight Talk on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, we had the whole Instagram conversation. We're like, we're done with that. We're done with that.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
just
Facebook and my website and YouTube are sort of my main places as well.
love it, love it. And that's where I found her.
Yes, that's right. I remember when the very first time you commented, and I'm like, oh, who's this? Yeah.
I did. I
And
was
here we
like,
are.
it's like, wow, she's so interesting. I was like, I would really love to interview her. I love these
Oh,
conversations.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're
I
so welcome.
appreciate you so much. And I just love you. I love your vibe. I love everything about you. Yeah.
Yes, I appreciate that. So we're
Thank
gonna
you.
go. And I appreciate y'all for watching, wherever you're watching or listening to this, because this thing is on Substack, it's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Spotify, it's anywhere that you need to listen to it. And it's also, of course, on YouTube. So you can watch it there as well. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and that you give us a comment on, what hit you in this episode,
Mm.
because I know that, this was a special episode because we went all over the place. But it was so amazing because I know that this is going to help someone. So if that's you, I would love it if you would comment below and just share with us, what was your takeaway? So again,
Yeah. I
this is
can't wait.
this is Tammy Morrison and Straight Out of Savannah, where the magic happens. And we just finished interviewing Fifth and Grace, Reverend Avril. So again, thank you so much for joining and watching, and we'll see you next time.